This is Super Yacht News with E. Sisman.
Hi, welcome back to the channel. Right, you may or may not be aware of a story that's been circulating online over the last few days, and it's about the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky allegedly buying not one, but two super yachts in October this year. Now, apparently he bought them through proxies, two brothers who he's known for a long time, Sergei Shafir and Boris Shafir. There's a picture circulating also of them all together. It looks like an old picture, as Mr. Zelensky looks a lot younger than he does now. Now, the two yachts that he's supposed to have bought they're both on the market. One of them is called Motor Yacht Lucky Me and it's based in Abu Dhabi. The second vessel is based in Antibes in France and it's named Motor Yacht Legacy. So the question is, did President Zelensky buy two super yachts in October? Now we're going to address this subject based on a video that a lot of you sent to us, and it's from a YouTube channel that's called Redacted, and they are supposedly a news channel, and they are the ones that have brought this story. Now they tell the story in very definite terms. They don't seem to question any of the data or fact check any of the sources that they're quoting from. There was originally like a 2-hour video, which I went through. They've also produced a 12-minute section of the story where they're talking about the yachts. I'll put a link in the description if you want to go and see that whole thing. Obviously, I'm not going to play the whole thing in our video, but if you want to see that, it's in the description.
Well, now Zelensky has bought two yachts, according to journalist Shahzad Nasir, two of Zelensky's closest friends. Now keep this picture up on your screen. Two of Zelensky's closest friends purchased two yachts, and they're moored in Abu Dhabi and Antibes.
So the person who broke this story and is referred to in the video as a journalist is named Shahzad Nasir, according to the YouTube channel. Now his YouTube channel has less than 100 followers, and it's got one single video on there, and that's the one that we're talking about, the one that says that Zelensky bought these two yachts. There's no other content on the channel, nor is there an about page on the channel which you could set up on a YouTube channel. So there's nowhere in that video that he describes himself as a journalist. I don't know where the chap from the Redacted YouTube channel got that information that he is a journalist. We couldn't find anything that places him as a journalist. He has no other online presence except apparently this one video. So that is a very weak source. There's no evidence he exists outside of this video on YouTube. So I don't know how they were able to confirm that he is a journalist. And like I said, there's no fact checking of the data that they show on screen. So we're going to do that now.
According to the documents that this journalist has uncovered, the two yachts are named Lucky Me and My Legacy. The one you're looking at here on your screen is Lucky Me, and the other one is My Legacy. See in the upper left-hand corner of your screen there. And you can see the purchaser, and you can see the name right there in the second box, and you can see the purchase date and the purchase price.
All right, so you've just seen a clip where he's referring to these forms that seem to show the purchase of these two yachts. The evidence that's on screen there is taken from that single video from Shahzad Nasir's YouTube channel. Now we've been unable to find the actual documents online anywhere, so we've done what they've done and we've taken copies from the video on YouTube and we're going to show them here. Now, what is this form? Before we dive into the form, you need to understand what this is. It's actually a contract for the sale of a vessel known as a Memorandum of Agreement, or an MOA. And it's by the Mediterranean Yacht Brokers Association, also known as the MYBA. So who is the MYBA? This is according to their website, MYBA is the creator of the industry's most respected and widely used contracts, which is what we're looking at. The MYBA Sales and Purchase Agreement, or MOA, and the MYBA Charter Agreement, which together with their associated documents are regularly updated as regulations and the global markets change. It's very important that I point that out, regularly updated. It's going to come up in a minute. On screen here, we're going to be looking at the two sets of documents that they are referring to, these MOAs. Now, on the left-hand side of the page, you've got 1 of 8. If you look in the top left-hand corner, you can see it clearly states 1 of 8. The middle page says 2 of 8, and the one on the right says 8 of 8. So it's not a full document, but we've got these 3 documents to work from. So now remember, These forms are supposedly drawn up by different brokerages, one being Burgess Yachts, the other one being Behnemar Yachts. They're two separate brokerages, right? So they are selling those yachts, two different companies. All right, so let's look at these forms. Certain data is redacted and yet other is not, such as the Burgess Yachts is listed on there, right? The public address has been removed, which is odd. Why would you need to remove a public address? Okay. If we look at the initials on both forms, so each form from different brokerages is signed by a different person, right? Which is allegedly the buyer's initials. And you can see that the letter S, if we zoom in, the letter S on both initials looks like it's the same handwriting. That is, it's arguable, I suppose, but it does appear to be written by the same person, although it's meant to be two different people, right? Brothers, but still two different people. There's other information on there that looks a bit odd, like the flag state data looks to have been added afterwards. It's in a strange position. It says Cayman Islands, and then the bit underneath is redacted. What would be redacted from there? That's what it would say, Cayman Islands. So there's no other data that needs to be redacted unless they've redacted a word already from the form, because it's an old form, and they've just added Cayman Islands in to make it look more believable. Anyway, regardless of any of that, it's all moot anyway, because we contacted the MYBA and they confirmed to us that's the form. They wrote this form, and this is what they said. They said the forms appear to be an old version predating 2012 that is no longer endorsed by MYBA. Remember we said earlier that they regularly update these forms as the regulations change. So the form predates 2012 and they haven't been used in 11, 12 years. Now the forms are meant to have been signed in October this year. That's just last month, but they're over 11 years old. Now they were able to examine the forms because obviously we sent them copies. And they came back with further information. They said the MYBA Memorandum of Agreement, which is what we're looking at, this is a standard form, and whether current or previous versions, as in this case, referring to the fact that it's an old version predating 2012, it's usually only modified by an addendum. So what does that mean? It means that if anyone needs to make a change to this contract, because this is a contract, then they will add a page with an addendum on. They won't change the form itself, right? There's actually data that runs up the side of the paper that says if there's any changes to this form, it can impact its validity. The spokesperson from MYBA goes on to say that, however, the pages that we have seen have several sections missing compared to that particular version, old version, of the MYBA Memorandum of Agreement. There are boxes and the signature lines missing from pages 1 and 8, and you can see, for example, that the stakeholder box, which appears on the second page, which is the page in the middle, but the stakeholder signature line has been removed on page 8, which is the page on the right. So below there, I believe there should be a section there that says stakeholder signature. It's completely missing, right? Now that's strange enough in itself that they would make a modification like that. But the spokesperson goes on to say, we note that these modifications are identical on both forms, although they would have been drawn up separately by two different brokerage companies, right? You've got Behnemar and Burgess. So how would they make the exact same changes to a form, which they're not even supposed to do, right? They're supposed to add it in an addendum. So, and the spokesperson says that is a strange coincidence. So it appears that the forms have been doctored and are not legitimate. Now, if these yachts have been sold, then it's easily confirmed by the brokers selling them. So we contacted both brokers and asked if the yachts were still for sale. We got a reply back from Burgess Yachts. The Burgess Yachts spokesperson confirmed to us that Motor Yacht Legacy, reported to be one of the yachts sold, has not been sold and is still very much for sale. And you can find that if you want to view the advert for that yacht, you can find it in the description of this video. Anyway, we had a reply back from Behnemar Yachting Consultancy. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. But anyway, they said Motor Yacht Lucky Me is also still for sale. Here's the statement. They said there are statements going around that Behnemar sold the Motor Yacht Lucky Me. These statements are totally wrong and false. we can confirm that the yacht has not been sold and is still for sale with Behnemar as the exclusive listing company. You'll also find the link in the description for that yacht listing. So let's recap on what we've learned here. The data in the video on the Redacted YouTube channel, when he suggests that it's a journalist, that's come from a YouTuber with one video on his channel, no information about him. We can't find any information about this person online. I don't know where he got the information from that he's a journalist, because he doesn't even state it in the video that he is a journalist, and there's no reference to him being a journalist anywhere. The forms shown have discrepancies as talked about. The discrepancies are on both forms, even though two separate companies would have drawn those contracts up. The forms predate 2012 versions of that form and are not used. They're 12 years out of date, so they wouldn't have been used for years. And both yachts are still listed for sale. All right, so let us know what you think about the information that we've provided here. If you've got any questions, put them in the comments. If you've noticed anything that we've missed, or if you think that we haven't been unbiased enough in our look at these forms, which is the only evidence that suggests that these vessels have been sold. We'd love to hear from you in the comments section below, and we'll discuss it. And we might make a follow-up video. Most likely we will, as more information comes out. All right, our latest Q&A has just been posted on the Patreon channel. He says, can crews who have enabled going dark on AIS and not transmitting AIS have negative outcomes in the future? If you want to see it, along with the Atlantic vlog crossing over to the Pacific, join us on patreon.com/eSysman. You find behind the scenes videos and extras not published on YouTube, including behind the scenes videos from our recent trip to Italy, Monaco and France. We also recently made a video showing how we make the Superyacht News videos, as well as the Patreon chat series, and you'll get early access to YouTube features advert free. And don't forget to check out our Superyacht News channel. It's all the goodness of these longer videos in short video form. And we also post this video on there as well, usually 24 hours after. So check that out at Superyacht-News. If you've got any information about any of the stories here, or this one particular story in this video, please be sure to get in touch. You can do so at the email address in the ticker. You can get us on the About page of the YouTube channel, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook Messenger, and also on Threema. Be sure to like this video, very important for the algorithm. Hit the subscribe button and hit the bell for future notifications. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch up with you soon. Bye-bye.